I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community.
So that's why it ain't just a black and white thing, because some black folks throw us out and frustrated.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I have got to talk to you some more. I know I did a video about Mr. Al Sharpton or Sharpton. Okay, I did a video on him already, and I'm telling you, these grifters out here that are trying to supposedly help or uplift the African American community, they're just lining their pockets with money to our own demise. You will be shocked. But before we get into this video, don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the all notification bell so that you will always be alerted of new content. Now let's get into it. So I got to share some more Vince Everett Ellison with you. Vince has written many books. He's an author, a speaker. He is very intellectual man and a sharp dresser, I might add. And I have an interview that I'm going to push out of me interviewing him. And that will be pushed out on January the 29th at 4 p.m. Eastern on this channel on YouTube. So you guys got to check it out. But we ought to know some things about Al. You know, that whole thing with Tawana Brawley, and he was stirring up the race thing and all of that. But I want to show you this clip here that I want you guys to really pay attention, because this is something that this is actually Malcolm X speaking more than 60 years ago. He saw this going on back then. And it's basically, he's in an interview on this show, and there's a white man who said, but there are black leaders in the black community that have no interest in helping black people, but lining their own pockets. They're put up as black leaders for the Negro. We were called Negroes back then, but they're put up, but they're really not helping the Negro. And this is Malcolm X's response. Listen to, and this directly applies to people like Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, and others who act like they have our best interest at heart. These people are lining their own pockets. Check it out.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
And that will be the racist white person, not the ones that watch my channel. Just so we're clear, okay? We're not demonizing anybody. But that was just Malcolm X calling out the tomfoolery, okay? Even back then. I'm going to get to this clip about Al Sharpton with Vince Everett Ellison and what he actually did to us, lining his pockets. Though, you know, he got paid $500,000. Well, his network, National Action Network, got paid $500,000 to do that interview with Kamala Harris. But watch this.
I was invited to be on the panel with Candace Owens. And I was up in the super VIP area. And the super VIP area was a place where you had to pay $25,000 a piece to be up in there. Yeah, that's the type of money these people had. I was in there for free, though. I didn't pay no money to get up in there, man. That's how I roll. So I was in the super VIP area, and I run into this guy who I recognize. His name was Michael Francisi. Francisi has a podcast of his own now. And Francisi was straight up mafia in the day. I mean, straight up, stone cold, deep, dark mafia. Francisi is so mafia, even when you see Francisi now, you say he mafia. So I recognized him, and I remember that Francisi had out at Al Sharpton, maybe 25 years ago, and he was on Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. He was explaining to Brian Gumbel some things about how the mob works. And he told Brian Gumbel that Al Sharpton had worked for the mob, and that he was a bag man doing all kind of this and all kind of that. And he had FBI tape showing Al Sharpton taking bribes and everything. Yeah, and I remembered it. So it finally came out that it was true. That Al Sharpton was a bag man. He was with the Gambino crime family, and that he was selling drugs in the black community. That's what they say. Yeah, selling drugs in the black community. Al Sharpton was all behind all that. That's what they say. I didn't say it. Don't put it on me. I ain't never met Al Sharpton. I don't know. That's what Michael Francisi said. So I walked up to Mr. Francisi. I said, Mr. Francisi, good to meet you. He said, hey, young man, and we started talking. I told him about the thing. He said, oh, man. He said, you remember that? I said, yeah. He said, boy, Sharpton was no good. He said, that guy was in, and he was selling drugs, and he said, man, I tell you what, man, we exchanged numbers. He said, I'm going to get you on my show, and we're going to talk about it because your community needs to know about how terrible this guy is. I said, Mr. Francisi, you're going to get in trouble. Francis said, I ain't scared of, I ain't scared of, yes. And he just told me Sharpton was no good. Never have been. Always sold your people out. I believe it to be true because of his past and what he continues to do. Just recently, Al found out that he gave an interview to Kamala Harris. Everybody thought it was a legit interview. You just wanted to talk to him. No, come to find out, he had to give him $500,000 to his organization. He got paid for it. That's who he is. The menthol cigarette people, they found out that menthol cigarettes are killing black people. Well, that menthol cigarettes made the addiction to nicotine much more prevalent, and that black people who mostly smoked menthol cigarettes. And the FDA wanted to ban menthol cigarettes. And Joe Biden was supposed to sign the executive order getting it done. And of course, the tobacco manufacturers didn't want to do that. So guess who they called? They called Al Sharpton. The Surgeon General said that if we ban these menthol cigarettes, we're going to save 300 to 600,000 black lives in the next few years. 300 to 600,000. So Al Sharpton didn't want people to know that he was working for the tobacco industry. So he hired Eric Garner and George Floyd's brother to go into the black community, do the dirty work for him. He paid them under the table. And then Joe Biden didn't sign it. So he could have saved 300,000 to 600,000 black lives and chose not to because they gave him money. So I guess black lives don't matter when it comes to menthol cigarettes.
That's what I'm talking about. These people, puppets, are put up in the black community. Now, you heard Malcolm X, you heard this here. You know that our sharp tongue has a history. So if what you do know about someone, like firsthand knowledge of someone, and then someone else comes up and gives another story about this person that exactly lines up with what you already know about them, then you tend to believe that to be true because of what you actually know about that person's history. And that's what he's saying here. The menthol cigarette thing, he could have actually helped to save the lives of that many black people and didn't do it. All right, so here we have Al Sharpton threatens to black boycott against companies dropping DEI programs. You want to put us back in the back of the bus. And we have I'm black and I'm glad companies are axing DEI. If black people have the merit, then they should be hired accordingly. Anyone should be hired accordingly. People like Al Sharpton just want everything for free. And again, it says he's claiming that they're trying to put us in the back of the bus. This man is a race baiter and a race traitor. Okay, baiter, traitor. That's what you are. That is what you are. This is another post right here. All right, let's hear what Reverend Al Sharpton has to say.
slave trade meant that there was an economic arrangement. They justified it by dehumanizing who they traded. They traded some for some blacks by paying off other blacks in Africa. All right? So that's why it ain't just a black and white thing, because some black folks sold us out in the first place. And some blacks are still selling us out.
He said some black folks are still selling us out, and he the one selling us out. I'm sorry for yelling. Do you see what this Jerome Crow Negro said? I got that from a girl, April Chapman, from Stand of the Truth podcast. Jerome Crow Negro got your pockets lined from those menthol cigarette companies. Yeah, didn't you? Jerome Crow Negro, I gotta use that. I love that one. Thank you, April. But see, that's what I'm talking about. People who are put up and hoisted up, but they get paid under the table, all kind of stuff, to sell out their own folks. And then they want to call people like me the sellouts. I can assure you nobody paid me $500,000 for not a darn thing, not even 100,000, not even 10,000. So you can take that and shove it, Mr. I'm not calling you Reverend Al Sharpton, selling out your own people. Menthol cigarettes were killing people, and the menthol allowed people to breathe in the cigarettes more deeply because of the menthol component was more soothing. And if you breathe in deeper, it will cause you to get sick quicker. And black people had a tendency, I've never smoked, but I've heard that black people had a tendency to smoke menthol cigarettes. And he could have changed that by helping to save 300,000 to 600,000 lives, and chose not to because it wasn't beneficial. There was an economic arrangement, just like you mentioned at the beginning of that, Al Sharp Tongue. You said slavery was an economic arrangement. You mean like you with the menthol cigarette companies? An economic arrangement? Yeah, I call you out. Yes, I bet you won't ever come on my show. I bet you won't have a talk with Vince Everett Ellison, because some of these folks are punks. All right. I'm sick and tired of black people being used to hurt other black people, and then have the nerve to act like they helping us. Y'all better know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications. Check me out on the Linda B Show Tuesdays and Thursdays, or any day of the week. But I push out a new video on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. And I also have my interview coming up that I plan to push out on January 29th at 4 p.m. Eastern with Vince Everett Ellison. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.